I have the Players School of Music, and in it I tell guys, you're going to make mistakes, don't avoid it.
Yeah.
Just take the mistake and fix it. So what this raw interaction was a chance to play whatever came, did come, whatever happened, did occur. And as musicians making those mistakes and those errors, it was made in the name of creativity.
Yeah.
And by having that creativity, you're going to find beautiful things in that. So I kind of want that to stand.
Yeah.
That there is a real meaning in that kind of interaction. And this is the most raw thing I think I've ever done in regards to a record or video or anything that I've permitted to be shown. And Pat Martino is somebody that I played with since 1975.
Right.
And he is a legendary and a great, great guitar player. And he had influence on me. So
and
he was kind of
person.
Beautiful guy.
Yeah.
Came down to play. Dennis is somebody, we've known each other for many years. We had never played together. We talked about it. We just did one record recently with, was it T. Lavitz? We did a record. And we wanted to do something else, so we did this. And Richard Drexler and I have been touring, forever together in a trio with Danny Gottlieb, now with Paul Wertico. So there's a little individual relationship I have with everybody, and what a wonderful opportunity to come out and just simply stand up and do it. Yeah. Come what may.
Yeah. Yeah, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful music. Yeah. And I know you're a big advocate of education. You opened the Players School. What year was this?
I don't recall, about 8 years ago. My son had cancer. He's cancer free. And
wonderful.
We started the school in order to, I quit playing. I retired.
Right.
The bass was hung up, and my wife and I stayed home, and we cared for our son, who, when he was declared cured after 5 years, and his health was back, and he's 13 now, Jason, and he took on his own life, as a young teenage boy. Everything is fine. I began to play again, and so I was gone for almost a decade, and came back, and now I'm starting to play and tour again. At the same time, I kept the Players School. I started the Players School to make a living.
To make a living.
Because I wasn't playing. I wasn't a musician. I was a teacher. I was a school marm.
Right.
You know? And so I kept the Players School, but the beautiful thing that I'm so proud of is we almost get 100% improvement. The guys that come have to play music, harmony, meaningful music, drums, bass, keyboards, guitar, music of meaning. Music and meaning means like tonality. E major has a name, and these things are not known to people. If a musician understands tonality, he can then improve his way as a player in any way.
So what should a student look for in a good teacher?
Well, it's a little bit of a hard answer, because if I don't know how to cook, how do I really know that the teacher who is going to teach me to cook knows what they're doing?
Right.
In general, the way that I would answer that is that if you go to a guitar teacher and they ask that question, what do you want to work on today? The reason they're doing it, and it's not a bad statement to these teachers, but they want to make a living. So I don't want you to leave. I want to make money from you. What do you want to work on?
What do you want to do?
And I'm sort of the mind that, look, I appreciate you coming to me. Let me hear you play. Okay, this is what I want you to do. You don't want to do it? I thank you, but you got to go, because I'm not going to allow in sort of academic situations how I'm going to compromise that. Art is compromisable. You can do anything you want in art. In education, you can't. And to prove that, look at every doctor and every lawyer that graduated out of Cornell. I mean, they followed the text, they followed the thing, and they got their license, and they can practice law or medicine. And in musicians, you go to there's plenty of places, schools where it's sort of motivated by, let's say, rock education, and they have guys coming out of school and more or less going right back home and more or less picking up at the same gigs they did, before they went out of town to go study. And so as a nature of things in academia, I say, let me hear you play. This is what I want you to learn.
Yeah, having a direction. Probably a good thing for students to look at too is how do that teacher's other students sound?
That's an interesting point. And I'll add to that, if this student is an excellent student and this next student is not, it's hard to know. I know of, there's the greatest music teacher that I know of is Charlie Banakis.
great.
You know who he is.
Yeah.
And I'm proud to say his
I don't
name.
know him personally, but I know the legend precedes him.
The legend precedes
he's
him
wonderful.
because he is a guy who is truly 100% dedicated, and the meaning of his lessons are undeniable.
Right.
The information. Charlie will have students that are excellent students. Charlie will have students that are not so good. Yes, that's right. Mike Stern studies with him. I still study with him.
Yeah.
Vic Juris, right?
Yeah, takes a lesson. Yeah.
My guitar teacher at the Players School, Peter Mongaya, just started to study with him.
Yeah,
Peter.
He's studying with him. Great.
And there are students that he has that are not so great. So it's hard to determine. You really have to go by the word and the rep and of the teacher himself or herself. Yeah. And so I've discovered that it'll take me a minute to know if I have a good teacher or not. If the teacher sits there and instantly says something that pricks my interest and gets me to think, then I say that's the teacher. Like Chuck Owen over here at USF.
Great teacher.
A great teacher.
Well, so I studied with Chuck.
You studied with Chuck.
Wonderful. Yeah. Jack Wilkins also over at USF.
Did you? Okay.
Great teachers.
I went to Chuck the other day for the first time, and he gave me one assignment because he's busy, I'm busy, and I think now he's what is he, the head of the International Jazz Educators or something?
Yeah, he's going to be the new president of IEJE.
Okay, and he squeezed
We're
me
in
in
2006 now. I think he goes in the office in July, something like that. Yeah.
He gave me a lesson, and the lesson that he gave me was like unique to me, and it made me excited. That's my teacher. That's my teacher.
Yeah, he's
right
great.
there.
Yeah.
He showed me something that I didn't know. That's my teacher.
Yeah.
I don't need to pay a guy to learn Stairway to Heaven.
That's right.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Strangest gig you've ever played?
Today?
Really?
Well, it's strange because the unpredictability of any gig that you would undertake has got to be strange. I don't think I've ever had anything that borders on the utterly bizarre. I mean, there's a few stories. I know about a few named guys I won't discuss here. But as strange goes, here we are in a studio, having never played together, performing for a public, a purchasing public, functioning in a sonic environment without monitors, kind of looking at each other for endings, wondering when and what is going to happen at what time. This kind of is pretty high up there. Strange to me doesn't mean non-musical, it just means slightly tuggy. You know, I did the Yes gig for a while, and I got a call on a Sunday night, and Wednesday I was on stage with them. Because I transcribed their solos and stuff, so that was kind of considered strange, but I've been transcribing for years, like you. You know, we've been transcribing for years, so sometimes people are amazed you write out these Yes tunes, but it's nothing. It's like E minor, and then, you know, and these lines are part of rock folklore already. These are famous bass lines, so I know these, and I don't know. I can't say I've had too many strange gigs. We played some weird places. You know, we played like in dungeons and castles in Eastern Europe.
Yeah, right.
That was kind of strange, I suppose. I mean, we played once in Frankfurt, Germany, and the pianist's foot almost caught fire because it was so hot that the rubber tarmac, Richard I'm talking about, was so hot that we were all in the shade kind of hiding out, Danny Gottlieb and I, and Richard's foot almost started to burn through his shoe, you know. So he's pulling his foot and still trying to solo, you know.
Get it in the shade.
So so that's kind of strange. I mean, frankly, it's not too many things that have happened that really are going to warrant, let's say, a Saturday night movie. You know, it's nothing that weird.
It's an interesting business.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a pleasure talking with you and getting inside your thoughts about music. I know this is just one function of the DVD, and I think that you've given me and the students who are watching this some invaluable information.
That's great. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah.